3 men have been executed in Iran over recent protests in the central city of Isfahan, the country's judiciary system said on Twitter. They were sentenced to death over the killing of 3 members of the Basij parliamentary force during demonstrations following the death of Mahsa Amini. Activists say they were tortured into confessing. Live now to our correspondent, Sebastian Usher, for more on this. I mean, Sebastian, some of the detail here is very alarming.
About the torture, yes. I mean, Amnesty has published a report this week which said that one of the men was subjected to a number of fake executions where he was hanged around the neck, thinking he was about to be executed and then told not. They were told that the members of their families might be killed. Another one of the men was hung supposedly by his ankles upside down. So they were, almost certainly it would seem that they were put through a series of torture that resulted in confessions. Amnesty International has said that they're tainted by the torture of those confessions, that the trial was rushed through. As you said, this happened back in November in Isfahan at the peak of the protests that had erupted after Mahsa Amini, the young Iranian Kurdish woman, died in the custody of the morality police, which set off this immense challenge, really, to the very core of the Iranian state, the Islamic State. So the feeling is that this is a message, again, to the protesters, which the protests have largely faded on the streets, but there are still many gestures that are being made online and elsewhere by people in support of the demands that were made to ease the restrictions on women, the hijab particularly, but many other issues too. That's continuing. But these 3 executions, which are connected with the protests, that brings to 7 now the number of people who've been executed in connection with the protests. And it's a very clear message from the authorities that there is no leeway being given. And we've seen in the past few months, as the protests have faded, the authorities have made quite clear that they're not giving way on the issue of hijab, that there are other measures that are being brought in. They're trying to make it less confrontational, but they're making quite clear that it remains, a core element of the Iranian state as it is, and that the authorities are not going to allow it to be challenged. So I'm sure that this will again raise a protest. Probably much of it will be online again by people who still very much want to see change in Iran, both inside and outside. But I don't think it would lead to another wave of mass protest on the streets for now.
Thanks for that, Sebastian Usher, reporting there.